Good evening and welcome back to Be Rich. Today I have my friend and my brother Anand Srinivasan with me, and he brought up an exotic topic to discuss. All the time I'm talking about Turkey, I'm talking about Pakistan, I'm talking about Sri Lanka because they are all our neighboring countries. So he brought up a basket case way off the map. We know them only for Diego Maradona, the Pope Francis,
And Messi.
and Lionel Messi. They won the World Cup in spite of losing their opening game to Saudi Arabia. And I'm no great fan of Argentine football. I like the Brazilian, and he also likes Brazilian football. So both of us are friends of Brazil. But what we are going to discuss is Argentina, the country. Most of us in India won't even know what is Argentina.
Other than football.
Other than football and the Pope. So let's take a deep dive into Argentina. Of course, if people remember, up to the 90s, the army was ruling a dictatorship. They invented the Falkland Islands,
Correct.
and the UK had to come back and take its territory back.
Correct.
And there was a lot of war, and they called it Malvinos. And from then on, democracy was restored. A series of extremely populist leaders ruled.
Quick succession.
A quick succession. There was a very brief period where there was a reformist president, but he could not survive long enough to
See through.
see through reforms. And for a long time now, Argentina has been a pariah of the world economy. So we wanted to deep dive into it, take a look at it, and find out what's wrong. So welcome back to Be Rich. Welcome.
Yes. So looking into Argentinian history from the time before the military coup happened and the military took over, they did have a populist leader back then, which Evita is based on the movie Evita.
Yes.
And Paro was
Isabel and Perón.
yeah. He was the
Perón,
last.
and then Evita is Isabel Perón.
Yeah. They were popular leaders back then.
Yes.
Then after that, we had the military takeover.
Yes.
And for a long period of time, under the crushing regime of the military,
there was a lot of missing children and a lot of democracy.
It's very sad history.
Very sad history.
After that military dictator died, they managed to come back to democracy. And they have had a series of presidents, all right, but they've just been mismanaging the economy, Anand.
No, because I'll tell you the problem with the Argentinian economy is Argentina is mainly an exporter of agricultural products.
Correct.
And it is somewhere like Ukraine. It is a large exporter of agricultural products.
Yes, and husbandry, like beef and all that.
Beef, that is an animal and products.
Yeah.
Now, worldwide what has happened is because of heavy subsidies in Australia, New Zealand and the United States,
Yes.
the prices of food have not really gone off the roof
No.
in dollar terms.
No.
So, their export income has not been
growing against inflation.
They don't have oil.
No.
They don't have copper. Now, their neighboring country, Chile, has a lot of copper.
Yes.
Which meant that when the industrial development happened, copper took off.
Yes.
And they were also ruled by a right-wing dictator, Pinochet.
Yes.
But Pinochet brought a lot of economic reforms.
Yes.
And he was not a leftist. He didn't give any political freedom. It was a kind of a right-wing China.
Correct.
That he gave a lot of economic freedom.
Yes.
Money was honest.
Yeah.
And so that countries prospered.
Correct.
And so even after they overthrew Pinochet, there have been left and right governments in
coming
Chile.
in succession.
Yeah, that is, there are left-wing governments, there are right-wing governments. And overall, Chile has been pretty stable compared to Argentina. But we do not know Chile, we know Argentina, because Argentina is a world power in football.
Correct.
And since we love football, we watch Argentina. So therefore, Argentina is more well known.
Yes.
And now Pope Francis is also from Argentina.
Pope Francis.
It's a largely a Catholic nation.
Very true.
Okay. The problem is it does not have enough forex earnings. And they want to run a socialist state where everything is supposedly free. The main language of Argentina is Spanish. Whereas in Brazil it is Portuguese, here it is Spanish.
Yes.
They were the colonies of Spain and those were the colony of
Portugal.
And therefore, since it does not have any great industrial exports, it's a commodity exporter, which prices have not done well
No.
So it's always running a current
Deficit.
account deficit. That means it needs more dollars than what it exports. And crude prices have always put Argentina under huge pressure. There has been huge pressure,
Because of the
crude. And basically, you need to import a lot of other things other than commodities. And so you have perpetually run a deficit.
True.
And they have financed that deficit by borrowing in the international market. And so, whenever the economic conditions have turned adverse, most of the rulers are leftists. So, these leftists have pushed the agenda of giving a lot of freebies. And this has meant that
The economy has been in tatters.
and the economy is not productive and is not moved to other skill sets.
Like you say, the sweet meat shop.
It's not done. There's no sweatshops. It's not industrialized fully. It's not moved into services sector.
IT never took off.
Nothing took off. So they are perpetually in trouble. It's so bad that you are talking about these great Argentinian stars, Diego Maradona or Messi.
Messi.
Maradona lived in Argentina but kept most of his money abroad. Messi now is moved to Saudi Arabia. I tell Ronaldo has moved to
Saudi Arabia. Messi somewhere in Spain or somewhere.
Messi is playing
Somewhere
in
in Europe.
Europe. Keeps most of his money in Europe. Does it bring it back into pesos? More than 40% of Argentina is below poverty line.
Yes.
So COVID has affected it badly, and now this Ukraine-Russia war has affected it badly, and it is defaulted in the bond market. Now, the recent time a leftist government won, and he immediately would default, and
He said he's
immediately
going to default. Yes.
and he has defaulted since, and the bonds have finished. The previous, I said, a good minister who was president was there, negotiated, paid back some debt, and revived the Argentinian economy. But when you do these kind of things, it is very painful.
It's not a populist.
It's not. It cannot be popular. Your interest rates have to be high. Money has to become real. It takes 5-6 years before the economy turns around and you see the benefits of it.
Like what Sri Lanka is going through right now.
Yeah, but most of the time, if you've given a chance to the electors, they will want instant gratification. So these guys went for instant gratification. So what is happening is like Pakistan, it is very remote, but we are not able to see it. Perpetually, it is on a default state.
Yes, borrowing and spending.
Borrowing, spending, and it's in a perpetual default state. Now, what is the problem is because it is the divide between the rich and the poor is very stark in Argentina,
Yes, it's huge.
like Venezuela.
Yes.
But Venezuela is surviving. That Marado is surviving because he has oil.
Yes.
Right? There is no oil here.
No oil. Yes.
Okay. There is a possibility of a violent revolution and a populist leader coming to power. For some time, when one of these populists was losing, there was a time when Argentina peso itself was not there, and everybody was using dollar.
Correct.
So there are some Central American countries
Yeah.
which are leftists who are anti-American, but the currency is a dollar currency.
One of them
Nobody
is very
touched.
popularly made news for accepting crypto.
Yeah. But problem is, if you want to change an economic system, the basis of an economic system is people trusting the currency. That itself is a problem in countries like Argentina. So India was in this similar situation in 91
Correct.
when all the political forces united. They left the center and the right and allowed Manmohan Singh to have a free hand for 5 years, where he really tightens things. And then when we knew that the left would not agree for labor reforms, he opened up the service sector.
Created a new sector.
He created a new sector. There was no service sector. You had the talent,
Yes.
you had the capability, but you could not import computers. So he made import of computers possible. So you had the talent, you gave the machine, it took off. So much so, India's total export is $447 billion today. That is merchandise exports. Services exports, which is mainly shipping, tourism, and software and consulting, is $322 billion. If we are not caught in this crisis, is because of the services sector, which is giving you $322 billion in
Spewing cash for us.
spewing cash. This has meant people who are in college can be
Employed.
employed. This has spawned other services. people, yeah, cab service, kitchen service,
Create a new middle
housekeeping.
class in India.
You have created a new middle class and a class just lower than that, which will survive keeping on it,
Correct.
supplying to it. Inside the city of Madras, there was a cognizant. There is, I think, still in South Madras, there is a office of
Cognizant.
cognizant, which is not in the suburbs, it's inside the city.
Yes.
If you look at it, you will see how many small food stalls, how many taxis, there a whole ecosystem around it.
True.
And this created a big demand for engineering seats.
Very true.
So in a
Engineering
state like
colleges.
Tamil Nadu, you
Yes.
had 500 engineering colleges.
True.
And to fund it, you gave them education loans.
True.
So everybody at that time used to go into a college, and if you passed that papers, you would be picked up into a big
IT.
four IT company, trained for another 6 months, and then put on a project.
True.
Now, that took 5 6 years. So it's going to take 5 6 years. So that 5 6 years, you need to have a,
Everyone needs to work together.
yeah. But you cannot say I will thumb the nose at the West. It between 89 and 91, where everybody ruled, all of them had a chance to rule. We pledged the gold to pay the loans.
True. There
We
also
never
a political
defaulted.
consensus here.
They had an informal political consensus. So you had to honor your debt. You cannot thumb your nose.
This is true. Even in the US in 2018 banking crisis, Paulson said in that article which I read with Shashwat, the Bush called the Democrats in, and he called John McCain and Obama into the White House and said, "Boss, we need to all agree on this messaging. As far as this is concerned, none of us can afford to pull this down. Everything will fall apart." So they all agreed behind closed doors in White House
Yeah.
that we will fight election, but not this.
Yeah.
So that kind of consensus is not there in Argentina.
That's not there in Argentina, and that is the problem.
So you're right. Maybe there is a chance for some kind of crazy guy to come up in
Oh,
Argentina.
no, definitely it will come. The signals are there.
Correct. When 40% of your population is living off garbage cans.
Yes, you will definitely. There's an. You ask this team to put up the images. BBC has done a program,
Wonderful. Yeah.
a wonderful video on that.
True.
Anyway, thank you for watching Be Rich. I hope you like this content. If you like this content, hit the like button, press the subscribe button, turn on the bell notification. If you do not turn on the bell notification, you will not be notified every time we put out a video. Once again, I thank you for your support for Be Rich. By now, everyone knows that the next location for our event is Singapore. I had not given great clarity on the date, time, and the place where the event would take place. We have now finalized everything about the event. The event is taking place at 4 p.m. on the 29th of April, Saturday, at Holiday Inn. There are several Holiday Inns in Singapore. Which Holiday Inn? We are meeting at Holiday Inn Singapore, Atrium, ANIHG. It's hotel, and it is at 317 Outram Road, Singapore 169075. Once again, I tell you, Holiday Inn Atrium. And my team will be pleased to help you. We have given a WhatsApp number below, and we have given you an email ID. If you contact us, my team would help you. Thank you for watching. Be Rich. It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.